How you doing? I'm Michael Bell, the voice of Duke.
Hi, this is Adrienne Palicki, Lady J from G.I. Joe.
Hey there, it's Rachel Nichols, aka Scarlett.
And if you're listening...
And you're listening to...
And you are listening to Anything Joe's, a collaborative journey through the world of G.I. Joe with Greg and Jaron.
Yo, Joe!
Got my G.I. Joes, got my comic books, watching cartoon episodes. Watch me go and box, dead stop, Jaron on his toes. Watch me go and lock a whole new world you never know. On my freaking block, on my block, anything Joe's. Roll my badger into work today. Yes, sir, no, sir. I can't call this work today. I'm too clutch. Ain't no pun intended. Call me sir today. Check the prices out. My collection feeling bird today. Anything Joe. 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 Joe.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Anything Joe's, a collaborative journey through the world of G.I. Joe. My name is Greg Engel.
And I'm Jaron Decker.
And we'll be your host today. Today on Anything Joe's, we're back on a Rise Serpentor Rise. It's part 3. That's the halfway point. Wait a minute. Is this the way that gets you killed in Inglourious Bastards? Or is it this way? I can't remember. Got to watch my 3s. Previously on a Rise Serpentor Rise, it's been a couple weeks. We took a week off so we could get caught up on some news. So if you have forgotten where we're at, basically the entire Joe team got their butts handed to them. Cobra successfully extracted DNA like 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 times in a row, all in one episode. Yeah. So they're building their stable of great Emperor DNA, and it's stockpiling pretty quickly. They need a bunch, they need 8 total, I think, is the number, which is actually kind of a lot of memories to be mixing together.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm excited. I know a lot of people have been enjoying this watch through, and I've said many times that I've really enjoyed this too because it forces me to I'm really scrutinizing every scene. I have a bad habit of watching all TV kind of over here somewhere on my phone. You know how it is, the modern age, everybody. Just do 4 things at once at all times. So yes, I've been enjoying watching these, and I'm glad you guys have as well. Let's start up Arise Serpentor Rise Part 3. That's the name. This is called Part 3. Here we are in another great opening sequence. They don't even I've talked a bit about Wetsuit not wearing his mask, and even in the opening he's not wearing it. It's actually maybe less common to see him with his actual mask on.
I think it's crazy that I've never noticed. You really shouldn't be climbing over stuff and firing the gun. Shipwreck is clambering over the rocks and shooting his gun. It's really not safe, man.
I mean, yes, just in general, you probably don't know what... I do have something to talk about. I've just now noticed... I know it's not supposed to be, but the inside of this base does really have a Terrordrome-esque vibe. If you look at this shot specifically, this has got the armor plating, I don't know what you call the little little teeth, There's clearly a circular design to the top of this. It even looks like there's the thing that the fireback comes out of. So it's there's a Terrordrome on top of this already cool stoned base, or the mountainside. Would have been a cool in the world of G.I. Joe where we peaked later and we didn't start going downhill. I could see bigger playsets like this, or even sell the mountain as an attachment, and that you bought the Terrordrome and you would set it on top of it. I don't know. I think that would be cool. Oh yeah, there's even the front-facing gun. That's definitely supposed to be a Terrordrome. I guess it's just so huge looking. Even then when they were fighting on it, it's again, his tank logic. The toy you could fit, a dozen figures. This one you could fit 150. Here we go, everybody. Pause City. This first shot, it looks how Tomax and Xamot look like they're conjoined twins. It looks like his neck extends into the other ones, which would be actually a really funny other version of the figure.
It would explain why they can
brother.
Feel each other so much. You just got a big old neck.
Even here, dude, I just advanced it. I advanced it 4 frames. It got worse actually. It's more believable. extremely detailed drawing of Serpentor there. I wouldn't call it treachery in so much as they just, I mean, like they're always doing this, except this time they're successful.
I mean, they basically just said, hey, go look that way. And the Joes were like, ah!
Yep.
A ghost, better run.
Okay, so this is where we left off. That drill goes through the wall and the whole castle is coming down, which seems, I mean, I guess it's a relic, so anything's plausible. Oh yeah, the whole thing, dude. All they did was go through one wall. Must have been a real load-bearing structure. There's that great Dracula bat on his tomb.
I love that, like, moving these blocks destroy the whole thing, but not the tomb.
Junkyard hears something? I'm pretty sure Junkyard smells something. That's how dog retrieval typically works.
Run away.
Yet again, we see Joes versus Bats, and they just like, I guess this is something. Okay, so in the last episode, I was giving them a hard time because this is like the third time it's come down to hand with the Bats. They always go. They here, look right at it. They're right on top of them, even though the frame before they're at a firefight. But I guess the logic behind that is the Bats will always advance no matter what. They don't take cover. They're not afraid. And so the idea is they are not eliminating them fast enough. They're getting overpowered, which I like a lot. Either that or I'm, once again, no prizing the hell out of this bad boy, but it totally checks out for me.
We got to keep fighting, you dig?
Just depends on which angle you look at it at. Sometimes there's 7, sometimes there's 3,000.
Yes, they do multiply. In that particular shot, it was hard to see who was the bad guys. Oh, there's snow serpents. Okay. Oh, okay, so we don't even have a named character. This is just Snow Serpent J. Snow Serpent 78, can you go in there and do one of the most important missions? Like, it's crucial to the entire... Like, if you fail, Fred, you're done. Oh, he's a full body, you guys. I guess because it's let's just throw the Captain America theory. He's in the ice, so it preserved his body perfectly, or like some kind of Walt Disney formulation here. But this dude doesn't even, like, his beard is still black. It's not even like his hair is perfect. He looks better. He's a better looking corpse than I'm a better looking human being that's alive right now. This guy should get a promotion for sure.
Yeah, he really should.
Okay, so I launched into this on the last episode when they were showing us a preview of this, because I was like, hey, do they have an eel driving the firebat? And they do, in fact, but it turns out that it's actually just an animation error, because in like 2 more frames, he's actually going to change to an AVAC. But just so I get credit for noticing it, yes, there's like 4 frames where this dude in the middle is definitely an eel, but he's supposed to be an AVAC. See that? See right there.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
So we're all on the same page. He completely changes. Yeah, did not make a lot of sense for an eel to be there. So I'm glad that they at least made the effort to fix it.
Dang, the Snow Serpent didn't even get to take the ride.
Yeah, they
gets
could have
captured.
probably brought a couple more points. Yeah, he just hands it off and surrenders. What if they handed him over to the October Guard and they were like, we're going to take you back to like a Russian gulag or something?
Tell Dude not to blame himself, General Hawk. If we knew exactly what Cobra wanted from those two, we'd do a better job of keeping away from them.
Affirmative, Sergeant Slaughter. We are in the dark now, but we've got to keep punching till we see the light.
Roger, General. Estimate arrival time at... Take cover! It's Cobra!
Sergeant Slaughter, are you under attack?
Sergeant Slaughter, you can hear Sergeant Slaughter's on the radio. You hear gunfire. Sergeant Slaughter says, "Take cover! We're under attack," or "It's Cobra," or something. And Hawk's response is, "Hey, Sarge, are you under attack? Is there something going on over there?" What a great field commander! Like, read the room, Hawk. Yeah, he's definitely getting shot. Even I can hear it. Also, I want to take a note that I don't know what this is, but they're on this gigantic plane in the sky, which is also like a huge military like like command base for them. They have computers and radios and stuff all on it, and I'm a big fan of that. The mobile command center of the sky, basically.
Another toy we should have got.
You're breaking up, Sergeant.
He's probably fine.
I wonder if he's under attack.
Have we talked about the leatherneck wetsuit? How they like this particular buddy cop thing that they have going on? It's from this season basically on, and it's used all the time. If they're in an episode together, you'll see it where it's like Army, Navy butting heads, or Marines and the Navy. They like don't get along. They're always competing with one another. It's a huge characteristic trait for these two guys. Completely isolated to the cartoon, but it's something that I think bleeds over because these two characters didn't get a lot of playtime like outside of the cartoon. They're not used in the comic book a whole lot, although they're both rad figures from one of the best years. It's a cool personality quirk of theirs.
Complain about it. Oh, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt such sophisticated repartee, but we're supposed to be watching for Cobra, remember?
Polly looks so small there.
Watching shipwreck.
Little baby bird.
If them fangy freaks
He's on Weight Watchers.
enter the Great Tomb, we'll blow 'em right out of the water.
I'm obsessed with the way these guys have written. The way these guys have written United States on the boats is really fascinating to me. But I'm going to have to draw the line here where the S at the end of States is off of the boat. It goes into the water. They wrote it and they were like I get it. They probably had to hand draw all of that, and that sucks. But it looks like every one of the Joes wrote United States on the front in a Sharpie, where they were all like, just in case we don't want the October Guard to take them home with them.
Looks like when I fill out my kids' paperwork at school, I'm like, the boxing's here. I'm gonna keep going.
Belay the one-liners, Polly.
Come in, Torpedo and Deep Six. How are things at the tomb, serpent-wise?
Nothing but sea weeks staring at 40 fathoms, Rick. The sonar's drawing blanks, too. Maybe Cobra's gonna give this famous stiff a miss.
No, never bet on clams.
No.
I'm still unclear as to whose tomb we're at. It's underwater, and it's like in a Greek style looking temple. Like, I'm still a little lost here.
Not exactly.
It's Zartan.
Species, but definitely.
It's here close.
What the? Oh no,
They were just decoys. Now, a normal situation would have been Shipwreck, who we know is a bit of a sleazebag, not clutch level sleazy, but is a little bit of a little shady, even by 80s terms, especially for a kids cartoon. He's checking out the ladies, and I think it would have been perfectly fine for him to be like, oh, he's maybe not perfectly fine. Let me retract that immediately. I think it would have been normal storytelling for him to have just been distracted by the women, not that the women, who I guess are Cobra operatives, are part of a decoy. What does it say about you that Cobra, the villain, is like, I know how we can distract them with some hot babes? That's a real bad look, guys. Like, I'm just saying, maybe you can keep it on board. Between the two guys arguing and the dude that's checking out chicks, it's no reason you guys are getting whooped every single episode.
Yeah, my headcanon is that Snow Serpent J back again. She broke out, and they were like, we got another job for you.
I would not want to be a devilfish against a moray. There's like probably 7 people on a moray. Well, 5 now, but versus the single man devilfish. Other than mobility,
Your aim improved any since we last went target shooting. Watch me.
watch me shoot these heat-seeking missiles that basically do all the work for me. Wow, they did try to avoid them. I got to give them credit. These guys are good at not dying.
Nothing satisfies you, wetsuit.
Stop bickering, you guys. He's getting away.
That oil tanker is our escape ticket. Fire torpedo.
Yeah, those guys know what's up. Wow, that's quite the explosion.
Quickly
pretty quick.
Destro's cool diving gear suit.
If only we could go underwater.
There's his mask. There's his mask.
Yay!
There's the wetsuit, I know.
Is this supposed to be like Neptune's
I'm baffled
tomb?
by this temple. No, I think they said Alexander the Great. And you know what, Jaren, I gotta be honest. I'm such an idiot. I don't know. I got nothing to fact check that against. I don't know where they're at, what this temple is, or where this dude's final resting place is. But I can only assume that none of this is accurate. That's just a best case scenario. Wow, the shark looked huge there. What? Okay, I guess this is just some kind of fictional Destro bio device, which is very cool. Because I was like, what is happening here? This is, again, blowing my science circuits out the door.
Now back to G.I. Joe.
So, I guess oil? Yes. Oil on top, which is the fire. Oh, okay, cool. I like whatever that is, that gelatinous glob that trapped him. Sure, just blow up that huge relic.
They only need
Oh wow,
DNA,
okay.
Just somehow.
It seems like you maybe could have just, you could have just. It seems like those doors probably would have just opened. They didn't explode or break. They were pretty tough. Wow, not only do we didn't even get to see that guy. They just did it off screen somewhere. They're really they're being extremely vague about that one, whoever that one dictator is.
They just needed a different kind of area to be at.
Wait a minute, Tomax and Xamot are already back on the job. Like we just saw them schooling a bunch of Joes. They stole some DNA. Now they're over here as well. I don't know if Sarge is on the case or is supposed to be defending DNA. Yep, fire.
Shall we help the good sergeant put out his fire? Let's!
That's the end of our friend Sarge.
That's spoken like somebody that has not dealt with Sergeant Slaughter often. I would expect him to throw one of those giant boulders up and knock you guys out of the air. Alright, so Mindbender himself has come for this one. He brought the cool DNA extractor.
100 feet of earth and clay won't stay Cobra from our appointed rounds.
But a drill.
He
There's no way
designed
you can
something
go
for
far
every
enough
scenario. Just earth and clay, man. Come on.
It's not possible.
Wow, it didn't even dent the Triple T, dude. It's still, the Triple T's still running after that avalanche fell on it. Did he drive out of there?
Stop them at all costs.
Sarge just hit the ground running.
Cobra Vipers, attack now!
It's a cool Cobra plane. Several Strato Vipers, not regular Vipers, like Mindbender just said. You guys are crazy. You fly the ships. I've seen Sarge fight 100 bats just in this season. Like, you look at, yeah. Oh, there's one regular Viper. Oh, never mind. That guy was a regular. That was a regular Viper. He turned to a Strato Viper when Sarge got up close on him. He's like, because I was just, Mindbender said Vipers get him, and then they all turned to Strato Viper.
Yeah.
This Viper's like, this Viper's like, I'm out of here. Jake, the Strato Viper, you take care of him. Jake's like, got this. Oh.
Stop Sergeant Slaughter while I get
Sun Tzu. Okay, so that's where we're at. Thanks for finally laying that out for me.
This guy's hasn't got a book, I think.
Yeah. It's very popular for paperweights.
Yeah.
Whee!
Makes you look sophisticated. I'm King
Okay,
Lord.
okay, okay. If you watch our show, you know we got a real thing about the Tomax and Xamot brother bond, and it's simply because it just has absolutely there's no stability to the rules at all. This makes no sense. Sergeant Slaughter is twirling one of them around, and then the other one also is spinning. That doesn't work. It doesn't work
in a different motion too. Sarge has him like laying down like this, spinning around. He's standing and twisting like.
What I would envision is that, and I get that that's not exciting for a children's cartoon, but I could accept that Xamot or Tomax, I don't know who's who here, would feel dizzy or discomfort or nausea, and not this. If this was true,
how do you fly in a plane?
I just had 250 scenarios where I'm like, well, this would be very awkward, like using the bathroom, or just going or doing anything. One of them does the Twilight Zone, like Tower of Terror, and the other one is like has an aneurysm right there. He's like, this is just like, I need this to like get condensed into a set of rules that make sense.
I mean, if you pick one up, the other one should start levitating, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of gray area there. It just does whatever it wants to do. They should really have that looked at. These Strato Vipers are either exceptionally brave or exceptionally stupid. There's no way a two-man team would go up against Sarge. Power jump. Get him, Roadblock. That's more like I would expect a Strato Viper to act.
I like to imagine the ones on the ground fighting are the ones that didn't pass their safety certification. It's like, well, we don't have our hours yet. We can't fly.
I was going to say, the idea that Mindbender can take more than one punch from Sarge actually says a lot about Mindbender.
Yeah.
Can you imagine putting your elbow against Mindbender's mustache? That's so gross.
Yeah, mustaches are disgusting.
I bet it's super greasy. Just Mindbender specifically.
Oh, okay.
I'm a beard boy through and through. All facial hair welcome here.
I would love to have a beard.
All right, so this one, that one got broken. They didn't really go into detail about what would happen if they didn't get them all, and I really don't understand why the system is designed for, like, you got to have 8 or 12 or however many there are, and if you don't, it doesn't work. Like, I mean, again, this is all even pseudoscience. This is just fictional science. Science fiction. That's what it's called.
Oh my gosh.
I know they should TM. I'm rich. They don't explain why yet that it's such a crucial point. And we'll go into this at the end because I did want to talk about other variations of Serpentor across the board, but a similar situation happens in the comic book where they have basically an extra body that they put in to make Serpentor, and it's not Sergeant Slaughter.
Badly as that whatchamacallit.
This looks like one of those devices Duke and Flint described. My hunch is whatever Cobra's after.
Hawk, how much clearer does it need to get, buddy? Oh, I forgot about these guys. That was at the start of the episode. We've been in there for 18 minutes.
Breath. They've been holding their breath for a day.
Beachhead, I want to talk to you about your deodorant. What do you mean? I don't use deodorant. That's what I want to talk to you about.
Got him.
Oh, that's such a cool plane. Why can't we?
Wow, they got they had 7 choppers flying there simultaneously. Those Strato Vipers did graduate.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry. Let's back up and look at Tomax and Xamot, who have 2 broken arms right there. So, and they are opposite arms. So, here's something that I'm sorry, we're not going to dwell on this a lot longer. We've gone down the rabbit hole so far now. It's impossible. There's just some things that we just can't walk back. But it's worth noting that Tomax's broken left arm is Xamot's broken right arm, which actually implies that what they experience is mirrored, which would suggest that if Tomax was getting spun this way, Xamot would get spun the other way. So interesting note that's surely not a coincidence that they feel things, I guess, the opposite.
It explains why they have the different pauldrons and stuff, other than having to differentiate them.
Put it on the very long laundry list of rules of Tomax and Xamot.
I have a couple friends that are mirror twins. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah? Do they feel each other's pain?
I've twirled them.
Do they?
I've twirled them, and the other one doesn't spin, so I don't know.
Do they only have to pay for one ticket to the amusement park, and the other one stays in the parking lot and experiences it all for free?
He just levitates as they're riding roller coasters and throws up.
Unless we find another source of DNA endowed with similar qualities.
His mustache got a lot longer now that I'm actually paying attention to it.
Genius, the best soldier of his time. If we cannot have his DNA.
All right, so we were being chatty Cathy's there, but generally the gist of it is we lost Sun Tzu, the greatest Chinese military, blah 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 blah. Let's take the greatest American military guy, blah blah blah, and that's Sergeant Slaughter. I'm not sure that checks out. I mean, Sergeant Slaughter is the powerhouse for certain. But and if we're talking about the most brilliant military leaders of the American world, Hawk certainly doesn't qualify because that fool still doesn't know what's going on. Or we're over the halfway point of the whole series, and Hawk is still like, "Hey, you guys doing okay? Anybody under attack? What's going on?" All right, sorry. There's a gigantic close up of Mindbender's mouth. Do you think there's a commercial break here, Jaron? We're getting pretty good about needing to stop about 10 seconds before there's a commercial anyway.
Yeah.
Yep, it sure is. Perfect.
There we go.
G.I. Joe will return after these messages. Now back to G.I. Joe.
I wonder why they left those in. Sorry, I know we're almost done, but it's unusual that they chose to leave the commercial break part of it in. Like they could have just chopped that out and gone straight back to the episode. and yet on the DVDs they cut out all the now you knows at the end. I'm curious to me.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of hardware.
Sucks they're still gonna get distracted by like one individual.
Cool tank. They got like tank teeth they're putting in the ground. Whoa, is that a pack rat? Look how huge that is. That thing's that has to be. I mean, it's almost verbatim one of the pack rats. Pack rat is like tiny, dude. It's supposed to be like the size of. I mean, a G.I. Joe is taller than it. This looks. I mean, okay, it's not exactly the same, but it looks heavily influenced by the pack rat. If it's not, then it would be a sweet toy.
I love how like everybody, when they have giant walls that they can use to defend, they put all their forces on the other side of the wall. And they're like, yeah, you go in front of the wall. Don't use the wall to help you be safe. Go.
This is another great. This almost looks like a painting. If you look at these tubes, they're like tubes for all the. I don't know why they are the size of a corpse. They obviously only needed the DNA. But anyway, if you start at the end and work your way backwards, you're like, oh, Ivan the Terrible. Got it. Rasputin. Okay. Does that say he battle? Okay. Does that say Zuma? And then after that is completely ineligible. Like they were just like, say something famous person sounding. Oh, here's a closer look. Definitely not the same words. Napoleon. If you look off to the right, that whatever that name is, it starts with an X. I'm not sure what that would be. Alexander the Great, Vlad Tepes, and then Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan not spelled correctly, but that's okay. Everything else is off a little bit here. Oh yeah, they spelled it Ghen. Gohingus. Xanuth, sorry. Who is...
Amontoth?
Yeah,
Xanadu?
Xanuth. Xanuth Amontoth. Have we seen that? And I just missed it?
Was that
that's King Tut, isn't it? That is King Tut. That's we saw Zartan and Monkey Ranch at a big spider.
Is that Montezuma?
The last one. Yes. Okay. Cool. We're learning. Hey, are their arms better already? They're already out of the sling. They had. Okay, that's a little suspect. If they were broken, I don't buy it. If they are sprained, then they're being weak to even bandage it up at all. Especially if they were only going to do it for like 15 minutes.
Are you so bloody cheerful?
With Sergeant Slaughter's DNA, I will have the genetic matrix to create the
It's funny to hear Cobra Commander say
Cobra Emperor.
bloody cheerful, because that's actually kind of a real curse word in the UK.
I didn't think about that.
This has gone far enough. They shall not succeed.
This one's the same as all the others, Lifeline.
Yeah, it all seems to add up.
Why would you let your doctors look at the medical device or the electronic device?
They're after DNA.
As in deoxyribonucleic acid.
Say what? Deoxyribonucleic
Oh,
acid.
glad we know that.
All life, gung-ho.
What are these guys carrying? Mud has like a big gigantic Lego block or something. Sorry, Hawk. We all understand the story. Everybody here knows what's going on except for you. So we did make this small PowerPoint.
Flat tippers, Napoleon and their kind. The genetic map of their personal power is within their DNA.
And their kind?
Like they're going to create the world's first fully cloned super soldier.
When Cobra has all the DNA.
And he can dance, man.
Building an army of these warriors for a final confrontation with us.
He knows how to flex.
Won't be fine when Cobra joins with Frankenstein.
Nice. It's a good one.
Your battle stations. Night Ravens attacking.
Leave no Joes alive. Cobra!
These are the vehicles we're actually supposed to pilot.
These are the ones you should go buy.
Yeah, and buy a lot of them, apparently.
So, when they first show them setting up for, like, to defend the wall, there's all the tanks against the wall, and then, I don't remember who it was, but someone was burying landmines. And then the first thing that happens in the battle, the first thing that happens in the battle is all
they drive
Joes
over
are
the
like,
landmines.
Let's go!
That is a great observation. You're right. They would probably be blowing themselves up at this point.
All right.
They're just so excited to get into it.
Yeah, they're like, we'll risk it.
I remembered where we put every one of them. Follow me.
Jack Stewart, you is avenged. That maniac is going to...
I like how there's no detail on that. It's just a black void.
Wow. He exploded that stun. I mean, like, it wasn't even a question.
It's turkey shoot time in Central Asia, so let's gobble them up.
Good one. I'd like to see him go back and shoot all those parachutes. Turkeys can't fly.
Start winging, like clipping them with his wing.
Dude, these guys, this is like a go-kart course. Everybody's just driving. There's like no military formations. Everybody's just going everywhere.
Like, oh, never mind.
Even as a kid, I could line my toys up better than that.
Yeah. I think that pack rat looking thing is huge.
Yes, it is. 2 questions. First, not a question. First of all, just great job, guys. You actually won one for the first time ever in this entire series. You pulled a W. Second question. Who's this guy? Is that supposed to be wetsuit in a truly stripped down form? They just can't resist showing more and more of him outside of his outfit. I don't know who else this guy would be. He's in plain clothes. Hey, I'm just the guy that comes out and bring the mines. Y'all didn't drive over any of them, did you? I named each and every one of them after my children.
He's trying to be Mr. December.
At ease. Save the celebration, men. Unless I miss my guess, that was
Well,
only
you've
round
not been nailing it lately.
This fiasco has gone on long enough. I hereby order you to abandon
abandon your insane experiment. You are under house arrest. Ha! Seize him!
Oh, sorry. I thought we were doing a thing.
It's supposed to be threes.
That's right.
My dear Cobra Commander, but no one cares to obey. You see, our last attack was merely a diversion. My next will bring them calamity and us victory. And nothing you can say or do will stop it.
Dang.
Nothing. You have a way with words, Mindbender. Continue with your plan by all means. I'll be waiting to reward your genius.
So, this is... Oh, cool. Well, I don't know what's going on with Destro's belt buckle there, but it's cool looking. This is a classic power play within the Cobra infrastructure. It happens all the time, and you know what? I don't ever get tired of it. I love the in-house fighting. It's some of the most interesting drama that happens in the series. It is very uncommon to see Mindbender at the head of a play like this. He's very cowardly. Even in this series, he's shown to be pretty sniveling. And the upcoming, division in leadership as Serpentor takes the spotlight is this is Mindbender's time to shine. Basically, it's when he is featured just about more than he's ever featured in the series, justifiably so, as he's roughly the creator.
Or to have you beheaded for terminal stupidity. I have spoken.
Terminal.
So I guess some Crimson Guards are with him and some Crimson Guards are not, and I don't know how you would be able to tell the difference. Oh, heck yeah, dude. They're going to go up against the big plane. Oh, okay. That's why they didn't make it into a toy. Wow. Really convenient of the plane to actually stop in midair right as the missiles got above it. Did you see that? Watch this again. Stop.
I think I better catch up to those missiles.
Everybody get here, dissect this, put it in a 3D printer, make a toy out of it.
Wait, it's a trick, General. She wasn't hit at all.
Oh, dang.
Not special
They did make
effects.
it cooler. They did. I'd have been like, well, I don't want it as a toy if it sucks, but it's clearly super duper cool now.
Yeah. No, it was just sitting there hovering.
Yeah. Yeah, it has a VTOL thing.
Yeah.
Pretty rad.
Maybe this
I
is the
didn't. I have
grandpa.
not seen that.
Grandpa of the VTOL.
Yeah, the great grandpa. That thing's huge compared to the VTOL. In that scenario, the Sarge is the merchandise. Yeah, why steal the DNA? We can just steal the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean,
Such a sense of humor, Sergeant Slaughter. You will be a superb addition to my collection of DNA.
To my glass menagerie.
uh-oh.
Well, that's the part where he grabs the hologram. Not 2 episodes ago, I watched Sarge beat 150 of these guys barehanded. I feel like this shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
Like a hole in the head.
Whoa.
Dispose of him at once.
Ruh-roh.
What's gonna happen?
Tune in tomorrow when the Joes organize a dangerous...
Well, this is what's going to happen.
That makes sense.
Dr. Mindbender's mad dream of genetic engineering is thwarted by treachery within his own ranks.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my goodness, what the heck was that thing?
Forgot about that meatloaf monster. Ah, that's a cool shot right there.
It's a ghost.
All right. So before we get into the now you know, I don't know why I keep calling it that. It's like the children's
Yeah.
stupidity, the dumb things you don't do as a kid message. Yeah, so we're halfway through, and we're finally kind of reaching the end of the DNA assembly portion of it, where they've actually finally got everything they basically need. That preview basically tells us what we kind of already knew, that they were hoping to grab the DNA of Sergeant Slaughter and use him to fill in for the one that they were missing. And we see that that's coming, and we also see that there's a gigantic meatloaf monster in our near future and a mysterious cloaked man as well. Jaron, before we watch the informative message about things not to do in your life, do you have any thoughts on where we're at now in Arise Serpentor Rise?
I really thought by this point I would kind of have figured everything out, but this show... I mean, that spaghetti monster is like the perfect representation of how this cartoon has taken me. And I love every second of this ride. But I would not have expected the Joes to have been just straight beat 4 times in a row last episode and then just continue to lose. And, but I do like you said, the kind of the inner struggle between Cobra. That's something that I recognize from, I think it was in one of the later IDW comics when I started reading. And, certainly ongoing in the newest one, there's a little bit of little dynamics there. So it's one of those, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And you know more than I do, but seems to be one of the earlier ones when they start really showing a schism, or at least teasing a schism. So I'm excited to see... Is Serpentor going to actually be in episode 4, or are we going to have to wait a whole nother one to see Serpentor?
Well, I don't want to spoil it for you. And, I enjoy the 5-parters are always about break the team up, span the globe, everybody's got a different mission. And I'm a big fan of those. And this formula is very slightly different in that there's a other part of the story that needs to take place at the end, which we talked about before. It's why they rushed things a lot last episode. And now that door is behind us, yes, I think the story will now shift into the birth and origin of Serpentor and how they deal with that, which is great. I'm very, very excited to see that. And I'm glad that this stuff is behind us. They did better in this episode. I gave them a hard time because it was like loss. This one, at least they're yes, they still kind of got duped, but they were able to successfully it'll break the one DNA device. I guess it does say a little bit something that they weren't able to recover it. They just destroyed it, which is not ideal, but that's better. That's at least like a tie and a string of L's. I'll take it.
Yeah.
So yes, that is episode 3 of Arise Serpentor Rise. The man himself is on the rise. If you like leadership splits in Cobra, just wait till this bad boy gets up and running, because basically that's all it is from then on. There's just different alliances. When Serpentor's around, that's the whole crux of it, is that he kind of takes on the whole organization. And Cobra Commander either has to fight back against him, or is kind of like in the cartoon, especially because they had a whole season of it. When Cobra Commander is in it, he's usually kind of either trying to make things go wrong for Serpentor to make him look bad, or in a more unusual turn, he's often used as kind of like a field agent. He sort of becomes the Duke, and Serpentor is like, Cobra Commander, go take care of this, which I think is an interesting twist to see Cobra Commander out in the field like that.
Yeah.
With that in mind, and that behind us, let's see what great, informative lesson awaits us at the end of this episode.
Don't forget to pay your taxes, kids.
Holy crap, kid.
Jeez!
That's a dangerous game you two were playing.
Yeah, thank you, smart man.
I mean, it's not even close.
It's already there. You guys would be that spaghetti monster.
It would have been smacking into the backside of it.
Yeah, that's a short lesson. Oh my gosh. How do you even... Hey kids, don't try to be a train. If I was Hawk, I'd just wind up and be like, man, if you guys think this is a good idea, then we call this natural selection where I come from. Just see ya.
Go ahead, I guess.
These are some of the least... I do not remember that one. There's a staple of a dozen of these that I've seen all the time. But the ones that they've tacked onto these, I have not seen in a really long time. I do not remember that one. I mean, I get why they don't feel the need to replay that one. They're like, does this save anybody's life? Is there any kid stupid enough to do this? I mean, I don't know.
Remember, kids, when you go visit a volcano, you don't jump in.
That's
Thanks.
right. Yeah, some pretty basic stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the end of episode 3 of Serpentor Rise. We'll be back in 2 short weeks. We've got more news to cover. We're making headway here. We'll be done before you know it, and then it'll be time for the movie, which I'm very excited about. It's been just long enough since I saw the movie in the theater that I'm basically ready to watch it all over again. We've got so much stuff going on that is actually tied to the movie, especially in the new comic book universe. It's maybe one of the first times that the movie is actually relative to current happenings in G.I. Joe in a very, 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 very long time. So I'm excited. I'm enjoying this part of it. The road ultimately leads to the movie, but I think this is just as important to me. Like covering these episodes, I think is great. And the next 2 episodes are real heavy hitters. We'll be back in 2 short weeks, and we'll have more news coverage. We'll be we're going to continue to barrel through these episodes until we make it through the movie, and we got a bunch of other stuff on the horizon. We've got coverage of the new Skybound comic coming. We're discussing classified figures as we can get them, which has been pretty hot and heavy lately.
Yeah.
And a lot more. You can reach out to us at anythingjoespodcast@gmail.com or anythingjoespod@gmail.com. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at anythingjoespod. And we would love to hear from you. You can find Jaron runs our Instagram, has tons of toy photography, is very big in the community. I run the Twitter, constantly talking about comic books, stuff that I've gotten in, recent acquisitions, etc. Please seek us out there, and seek us out in 2 short weeks. We'll be back with even more G.I. Joe news, where anything's available for discussion here on Anything Joe.
I'm gung-ho. Louisiana love me, baby. Sunbow. Yeah, the hero of me, baby. Storm Shadow. Yeah, that's why y'all fear me, baby. Got a lot of Joes.